Hey everyone, it's the Vigilante. So I'm going to be reacting to Assassin's Creed Shadows as a nuclear woke disaster. Ubisoft erases history to appease activists from Edimon TV. Now, I'm in the middle of playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I actually think it's a really good game. Is it perfect? No, not by any means. But the more I play it, the more I'm actually enjoying it. It is not nearly as bad as everybody's making it out to be, especially him. So let's get into it.
Creed Shadows is now officially out worldwide for the entire world to either enjoy or make fun of, depending on which side of the aisle that you're on. Like I said in my previous video, this game really is one of the last bastions of the culture war when it comes to where Western gaming is gonna go in the future.
I want to be ninja!
Because as you'll come to see from this video, where this game is going with its depictions of real-life historical figures, that it's so nuclear bad already that players have already begun to claim that Ubisoft is dead on arrival here. And of course, there's Japan itself, which has brought the attention of Shadows to their highest form of government, and it's a big yikes for Ubisoft, guys, so we'll start there. So to quickly catch you up, Japan is
The only reason why this game is dead on arrival is because of people like you who keep sitting there bashing this game without even giving it a fair chance. You guys are only whining and complaining because they put a black man as one of the main characters, and newsflash, he's not even the main character. The main character is actually the female. Okay, you have to play over a third of this game before you even unlock him. So, you know, and yeah, he's overpowered. He actually is a really good character to play as. He's overpowered. He's perfect to take down the castle.
is pissed at Shadows. They think the game doesn't properly convey their culture at all. You can be mad about whether complaining about historical inaccuracies is good or not. The point is, unless you're Japanese yourself, you really can't exactly say what they are as a people feel is wrong or not. And then this brings me to two people specifically. Hiroyuki Kata, and the other person is Prime Minister Ishiba. Yeah, the guy who runs all of Japan. He's now aware of Shadows too. This was also translated by Twitter user Ohio My Brother, so shout out to them. So, what the hell is happening? Well, Kata, a politician, brought Shadows to the attention of Japan's upper echelons of parliament recently, claiming that the game does not depict their society, culture, or really anything with accuracy. Some of the concerns that Kata brought to the National Diet was that Shadows allowed things like shrines to be destroyed, and that many religious artifacts were being included in the game that were neither consulted or given permission to exist in the game by anyone. Ubisoft just kind of put them in there, and that's it. This then led to the Vice Minister of Economy Trade stating that the unauthorized use of real-life locations within Japan that are in Shadows to be grossly unacceptable, as Ubisoft did not consult anyone who actually takes care of these shrines and such to help depict them in the game. This brings us to another problem that the National Diet brought concern to, which was that they
Alright, so first off, I do not agree with the whole destroying of the shrines. I am glad that they sat there and decided to take that part out. On the day one patch, they did an emergency update, which was very good. Now, when it comes to everything else, I don't care that Japan is insulted that they use their religious stuff and their pictures of their shrine to make it more realistic in their towns without their permission. Guess what? You guys release that information to the public. It's fair use at that point. If you don't want people to use it, don't release it to the public. Stop having people release up to the public then, so get over it.
They are afraid of, as Insider Gaming reported here as well, that Japan's government is actually afraid of imitation attacks due to things like Assassin's Creed Shadows existing. So what do they mean by that? Well, as Hiroyuki Nata, the guy who initially brought this to the attention of Japanese government, said himself about this, in the game the samurai protagonist smashes drums, sacred mirrors, and altars inside the worship hall of a shrine that appears under its real name. He slashes at people who appear to be priests, shoots arrows, and engages in other violent mayhem. When I asked the chief priest, he said that the game company had not contacted the shrine to ask for permission to use the name. The issue is that Japan's government is worried that if people who are stalwart defenders of things like disrespecting the culture of other nations, which is a big problem by the way, it's called tourist pollution if you need an exact term to describe it, it pretty much is a problem that many Asian countries have had to deal with for a while now. A high-profile version of this tourist pollution is Johnny Somali, who I don't really need to explain, but I'm sure you know all about him, and now he's been charged with crimes and attacking locals and more for pretty much causing havoc and mayhem within all of these Asian countries for content. Johnny Somali is a genuine idiot, and I think that guy deserves all the hate that he's getting, because he clearly doesn't care for what he's done to these countries and their people at all. He just wants the content for views. And let's not forget that at least when this video does come out, that currently there is a alarming string of imitation attacks on Tesla products as well. We're talking about whole cars that are being keyed or damaged or downright burned down in protest of Elon Musk. So while you might say, oh, it's just a video game or whatever else, you need to realize that if you get enough idiots to believe in something, they will act in moronic ways.
I do understand that Japan is not too happy with how they depicted the shrines, but you know what? I don't think Ubisoft should have called him and asked for permission. If you put the shrine's name out there to the public, they shouldn't need your permission. Okay, it's free use at that point. Okay, that I don't agree with. I'm also American, so here in America, you can use, unless it's a company or someone owns it, type of thing. Like if it's a national landmark or a city or something like that, you can use that name. There ain't nothing anybody can do about it. It don't matter how you feel whatsoever. That's the beauty of freedom of speech at that point. Now, I do not agree with the whole tourist pollution. Johnny Somali, I don't feel bad for him. I hope they lock him up and throw away the key. You can't go to another country and expect to have the same rights and privileges you do here in America. So if you willingly choose to go over there, and if people do choose to go over to Japan and disrespect their shrines like that, you know what? I ain't gonna feel bad for you if you get locked up and you never get let out. You think I'm gonna lose sleep over it? I'm gonna be sleeping in bed like a baby. Don't you worry. While you're over there and you're gonna be someone's little baby over there, I ain't gonna lose no sleep. I can't sit there and say what I want to say.
Now, will Ubisoft sue those people who could perform these imitation attacks, or is it only harassment if it affects their employees? We know the answer, but anyway, the Prime Minister of Japan said this as well. It is absolutely unacceptable to graffiti a shrine. It is nothing but an insult to the country. It is natural to have respect for the culture and religion of a country. And I think it is important to send out the message that we will not tolerate any behavior that does not respect the culture and religion of a country and will not tolerate it. And I think this is a big deal because what Ubisoft has done here with Shadows has even started to affect publicly accessible information spots like Wikipedia, where Yasuke is listed as a real samurai when in reality that is not true at all. And in actuality, he was just some guy that was bought for being black. I mean, unfortunately, that is what happened, and then he was given back to his slave owners once the guy who bought him got betrayed and killed. Some may think this doesn't matter, but yeah, it matters a lot actually. Speaking of publicly altering real-life things to make your game seem more legit, this is where we get into big yikes territory. So, some context. In Shadows, you can romance people.
My guy, you're cherry-picking facts now when it comes to history also. I'll get into the whole love interest in a second. But when it comes to this guy, yes, what you're saying is kind of true. But the thing is, you don't know for certain. Nobody knows. We don't have enough information about the guy. The only thing we know for certain when it comes to historical records that he was there. But many historians sit there and have said that they believe most likely he was an actual samurai. Now, obviously he was a slave. We do know that he was a slave when he came to Japan. We don't know what happened during that time. But that's why Ubisoft picked it. Well, we all know the reason why Ubisoft picked him. But the reason why Ubisoft says that they picked this guy was because he was an open-ended character. He is the first character that Ubisoft has ever used in their Assassin's Creed game as a main character that was an actual historical character. Every other character was made up. But the simple fact is, he was there. I bet if they would have used the character from The Last Samurai and they would have altered it and changed it, you wouldn't even be throwing a fit about it. I don't know if Japan would have been throwing a fit about it, but I doubt you would have been throwing a fit about it, my guy.
They've done this in previous games, but here it's egregious to say the least. Both Naoe and Yasuke have access to a straight romance, as in one romance being heterosexual, and the rest are basically gay or non-binary, which isn't that also gay? I don't know, man, it's all nonsense to me. Anyway, as if Ubisoft couldn't screw up things enough, it actually turns out that Yasuke's main love interest, as in his canon love interest, because yes, there's actually a mode in-game that you can turn on that automatically selects what Ubisoft considers to be the right choices for each character pretty much. Anyway, Yasuke's canon choice for romance is none other than Lady Oichi, which is, oh man, okay, where do we even begin with this? So, even more context for people that don't know, Lady Oichi, I'm probably saying her name wrong, I apologize, was the younger sister of Oda Nobunaga, the same guy who bought Yasuke in real life and then paraded him around as a pet to his friends. That's real, look it up. Oichi has appeared in many other video games too. Here she is in Nioh 2, for example, as a character, and here she is as well in Samurai Warriors. That's the Japanese spin-off series from the Dynasty Warriors developers. Lady Oichi was widely considered to be one of the most beautiful women in Japan when she was alive during that time. She was what can only be described as a real-life princess, pretty much. We're talking elegant, beautiful, strong, compassionate, and loved by her people. Oda Nobunaga even once said, according to historical records, that if Oichi was born a man, she would have been an excellent warrior. She lived to be around 35 or 36 years old before she died. Oichi did die alongside her husband, a lord, when their castle was sieged by rival forces. She also sent her 3 daughters, who all ended up becoming prominent historical figures in their own right in Japan's history, away from the castle to live on in her name.
Alright, I don't care if this is a video game or not, but I will sit there and say this one. I do not agree with infidelity. Do not care the reason behind it. I will never agree to support it. So this part of the game, this was just horrible writing in general. They should have never included this. And yes, If a lot of people are going to hate on Ubisoft for it, I can't blame you, and I will follow you guys when it comes to the infidelity part. Now, when it comes to the rest of the stuff he's about to complain about, here, we'll listen to it, and I'll sit there and give you my opinion. And actually, I'll drop some historical information that this guy refuses to accept, or he just didn't look it up.
Oichi was, as you can see, an extremely loyal woman who was devoted to her husband Shibata Katsui. Oichi did also have a husband before Katsui, and that other guy's name was Azai Nagamasa, who died very early in his life, around age 26 or 27. Regardless, Oichi was devoted to her husband, and like I said, was historically recorded to have sacrificed herself to save her children and die with her beloved. This woman is apparently the canon love interest of Yasuke, if you can believe it. And you're probably wondering, how the hell is she the canon love interest of Yasuke if she dies with her husband? Well, it turns out in the game she likes Yasuke more than her own husband in secret and basically cheats on him repeatedly to keep Yasuke close to her because he's the real man that she really wants. Forget about history. Don't believe me? Well, here's their romance scene. Please watch. Okay, fine. I can do more. What if I told you that Yasuke can romance a guy who says that he's non-binary? Let me ruin your day even further. Please watch.
All right, like I said, I don't condone the whole adultery thing, but the thing is, you're going to get mad about the gay scenes. You do understand that whether you agree with it or not doesn't even matter. But if you're sitting there saying you want historical accuracy, you do realize, now I don't know about the women, but when it came to the samurai men, you do realize it was very historically accurate that samurais slept with other men. Oh, gee gosh, you didn't look that one up or you chose to ignore it. Now, like I said, it doesn't matter if you agree with it or not. But the thing is, it gets worse. They didn't really sleep around with men. Okay, I can't sit there and say what I want to say because I'm afraid that I might get blocked or whatever. But what it was very common for, as long as the person was okay with it, a samurai would take on an apprentice, and as long as the apprentice was okay with it, they would have sexual relations with each other until the apprentice came of age. You can sit there and take that how you want, but that was very common back in the day. So Japan, they can feel insulted all they want. Guess what? It's their history. Get over it. Well, that's it for my reaction. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with me or not. If you choose to go check them out, I'll link them down below, but do not send any hate, no disrespect. Let them know I sent you. You know, even though I disagree with them, I do believe people can have discussions and they can disagree with each other in a respectful way. But that's it for my reaction, and until next time, stay vigilant.